Toy Story 4 dropped in theaters this week, and it made a lot of money. Kind of came in underestimates. It was originally estimated for about 140 million, popped in about 118 million, maybe showing a little bit of signs that the Disney machine outside of Endgame isn't really rocking it up. Waiting to see whether or not the Lion King can make up that extra little information here, but that extra bit of money, because Disney clearly doesn't need any more money, right? Or they're cash poor after dropping $1 billion on both Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Anaheim and in Florida. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Critics Slams Toy Story 4 for sexism, disableism, and having no black leads. Now, the no black leads thing, I'm not going to lie. I actually had a thought about that this morning before I was looking at the stories for the day. I just kind of was looking through some stuff, some videos on YouTube, came across some Toy Story 4 coverage. Thought to myself, have they ever had like a black G.I. Joe lead or a black character lead? And I'm like, no, they haven't. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. It is. It's a little bit weird, but then they have diversity in other ways, not just, straight white male cowboy characters and straight white male astronauts. This time around it's a Bo Peep thing, although some people have told me that it's feminist garbage, that the whole thing's feminist garbage. That's terrible. It's god-awful. You should not watch it. It's feminist garbage. Because Bo Peep has a larger role this time. I swear, people and their opinions, man. I mean, mine are pretty bad sometimes too, but oof. Anyway, it says here, a writer, Stella Duffy, is on a one-woman crusade to make the Toy Story franchise, which released its fourth installment, more woke. I would argue that in regards to them getting more woke as a company, as a studio, they've kind of been going that way anyway. There's nothing. God damn it. There's nothing wrong with inclusivity. There's nothing wrong with diversity of characters. There's nothing wrong with that. And here's the thing: if you're getting ready to go like Matt's gone SJW for saying that, no. First and foremost, hear me out on this one. If you put it in there and then it's there and you don't talk about it, then it's not really considered quote unquote getting woke, right? It's when you make a big deal about it, when you Trump, you walk around and you've got the signs, like we got woke, and then it becomes this obnoxious thing that no one likes, and that's pretty much what this was. Now, in an interview with the BBC, the Daily Mail reports that Duffy slammed the already beloved Pixar film, calling herself the Grinch that hated the movie, and calling the film an example of how sexism, racism, disableism permeate the movie-making industry. Does it? I mean, come on. Does it? Is anyone going to go see, like, if John Wick was in a wheelchair, would you watch it? I actually probably would, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a liar. I would totally watch John Wick in a wheelchair, but it might be a different film. I'm not saying don't make it. I'm just saying make it good. People don't care who's the lead of a movie. They don't care, provided it's good. Provided it's good. They don't care. See, that's what people like this Duffy lady doesn't get, is they don't care if the movie has a transgendered, two-spirit, other-kin, bisexual Apache helicopter. If the Apache helicopter is like taking out the bad guys while rocking some Aerosmith or at least Flight of the Valkyries and having a good old time and the movie's good, no one is going to care. Not one damn bit. Not at all. You know that. I know that. They don't know that because they don't. Anyway, she was especially concerned that the movie featured no black leads and that the character Bo Peep, a little Bo Peep doll that appeared in all three previous Toy Story installments, is anti-feminist. Hold on, Emily. Gotta kind of back it up a little bit there. Beep, 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 beep. Actually, Bo Peep was not in Toy Story 3. She was omitted from that movie. The way that they brought that up, the way that they kind of explained that, for those of you who don't remember what the movie was 9 years ago when it came out, Bo was given away during a garage sale or some kind of donation to something, and she wasn't there anymore. And that was meant to showcase that there's always going to be loss in this particular world, even though it's Annie Potts as Bo Peep. I love me some Annie Potts. I love Bo Peep as a character. She was omitted from the last movie, and that's okay, because it did add to the emotional gravity of the story, especially that end scene when they're in the incinerator. Oof, that gets me. Anyway, calls it anti-feminist, thus setting a poor role model for young female fans of the franchise. Right, so Bo Peep comes back, kicks ass. Somehow it's considered, a bad thing. Anyway, She goes on to say here, seriously, it's like 2019. What on earth are Disney doing having a film there's no leads that are black characters? Sounds like Kellyanne Conway there. Anyway, there are characters of color, but the colors are blue and yellow. A pair of plush toys, a rabbit and a chick, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, but that's not the right color according to Duffy. And that is always kind of the argument that people like Emily here from the Daily Wire are going to use, where it's like clearly the intention of what Duffy is saying is known, but it's like, here's the whataboutism argument of it, which look, I'm not gonna discredit that argument because it actually works, because that's kind of the whole point. But we're talking about like lead characters, Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele aren't lead characters. You could argue that the lead characters are Woody, Buzz, Bo, Forky, and maybe Gabby because she's the villain, right? Other than that, it's all side characters. Even Don Rickles is a side character in the movie. Now she goes on to say here, yeah, there are black actors, but there are yellow and there are green and they are plush. How can they possibly think that's all right now? How can they possibly think that's all right now? Yeah, maybe in 1995, which is also wrong as well, actually. But now, to be serious, where every single humanoid toy is white, it's just shocking. And see, that is actually a point. That's actually a point. That is a point. You may disagree with me on it. I'm not saying that the movie needs to include it. If the story they want to tell is the story they want to tell, but she does have a salient point there. Toys do come in multiple shapes and colors, especially if you pay attention to Barbie. Multiple shapes and colors. So that makes a lot of sense. But again, complaining about the movie now, I get it, fine, but it's, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway. As if that wasn't enough, Duffy was triggered by Bo Peep, who may have reappeared recently as having swapped her dress for a more modern pantsuit, but was still one half of a toy-centered love story and not an independent female character who doesn't need love to survive or succeed. Going on to say here, okay, let's talk about white feminism on display here. Oh, look, Bo Peep's a feminist. No, she's not. She's still going to fall in love. She's still going to have the happily ever after. That's not feminism. It's a woman who kicks off her skirt to reveal bloomers, had a couple of thoughts, does some high wire acts. Okay, first and foremost, the relationship arc of Bo and Woody goes all the way back to 1995. There was always that love there between the two of them. There was always that love there between the two of them. And that's one of the reasons why it was so heartbreaking in number 3 when Bo was given away. And Woody was like, kind of like, like it's the life of a toy. He gets it, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. They didn't just dwell on it. Here they're giving what I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't fully speak to it, but I'm assuming they're going to give Woody the happily ever after that he deserves, that he's wanted for Andy and for Emma, whatever the girl's name is that he's with now, and everything else. Like that's what he wanted. But he's never sought it for himself. Again, the entire point of these films is identity. All 4 of these movies boils down to that particular theme. It's fascinating that they've been able to do that now for 24 damn years, but they have. Now, she also says that the movie was disableist, but it didn't elaborate on precisely what it means, or whether she meant ableist, which is a type of social justice complaint. I'm wondering if that has to do with Forky, because Forky, you look at him, you think like Forky's kind of like mishmashed together from different parts. And that is, of course, it's Bonnie, not Emma. It's Bonnie. My bad. Don't kill me in the comment section. No, but it's Bonnie created him, and that's her creation, her imagination. And that, of course, is a big part of the story. Now, it's the rest of this thing is just, again, she's so dumb. Wanting this woman the Stella Duffy woman to attacks Toy Story like this. Again, it just goes to show you that critical thinking and feminism doesn't necessarily go hand in hand. Critical thinking and looking at the character from like the arc of her character going back to 95 to now, and how that they are trying to wrap that storyline up and make it all about Bo, which is great because the past 3 films have been all about Buzz and Woody predominantly. And that, of course, is just, it's a good thing that they're doing that. I'm totally down for them exploring the stories of other characters. I would love to see Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head get their own movie. Unfortunately, Don Rickles is dead, and they cobbled together his dialogue from clips from previous films. I'm not kidding you. Slinky Dog, Jim Varney passed away. Would love to get more about that. Ham, John Ratzenberger's still alive. There's a ton they could do with it, and they've done a lot. Like more with Duke Kaboom. I've seen some clips. It's pretty good. The point is, not every story has to follow a specific narrative. Disney is in the business of marketing happily ever after with tragedy to get you on that particular pathway. We all know that. We all watch Disney movies. We all know the formula. We all know it works. And you know it's a slow feminist month when this is how you have to come out and attack the film. Well, I can't just enjoy it that a strong female character got the lead this time around. Oh no, I have to find a way to attack it. Makes me really wonder what Stella Duffy thought of Captain Marvel and whether or not her and some of the detractors who would normally hate her on YouTube would see eye to eye on Brie Larson's portrayal of Carol Danvers. But anyway, I leave it to you. Your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day.